This looks interesting. Proper watches for proper money. Let's just take a look at what this is. Forge and Foster. Oh, I see they have some things that other watches don't have. I mean, design in-house and tested before production. Forge and Foster checkmark. Similar brands no. Automatic movement. Similar brands no. Scratch resistant sapphire crystal. No other similar brand has that. Fast shipping. Fast customer support. Easy returns and 24-month warranty. I mean, yeah, where else am I going to get a watch like this? I gotta get me one of those. Hey everyone, welcome back to another Merly on Time. My name is Chris and I unbox and review budget watches. Thanks for stopping by today to check out this video. Today, as you saw from the introduction, we are looking at the company Forge and Foster. Forge and Foster is a micro brand company based out of London, England, and they heavily advertise on Facebook and Instagram. If you're a watch enthusiast or have an interest in watches like myself, I have no doubt that you have seen them advertised on your social media as well. And this particular watch really caught my eye. It's a skeleton automatic, and it's a kind of watch that I've wanted to get for a while. And so when I saw this one, I jumped on it and I got it on the Black Friday sale, and I purchased it for just over $200 Canadian, I believe around $225. And for the most part, I am happy with it. But there is one major problem with this watch that makes it unwearable for a lot of people, and we're going to get into that. And so let's turn the camera around and have a look at this Forge and Foster. The model is the Maven X Visage. So this is the packaging that the watch came in. It is a nice enough box. This kind of fits in over top there. The watch did come underneath this nice piece of foam to protect the watch, and this is it. This is the skeleton automatic Maven is the model, Maven X Visage. Before we kind of take a closer look at that, have a look at this. This is what I'm rocking today. This is the ISL 59 by Long Island Watch. This is Mark's version of a Seiko Monster, and it is absolutely beautiful. It will be featured in an upcoming video, my State of the Collection top box watches. This is in my top box of 12, one of my 12 favorite watches. This Forge and Foster did not make the top box. It is in the bottom box of watches, and it just didn't make the cut. Now, it is a really, really neat watch. Here, just take a look at that. So it's a skeleton automatic. You can see the movement beating inside of there. Let's just deal with the specifications. Now, this is one of the issues that I actually have with the watch, and we'll just dive right into that. The website lists this as a 42 mil. Now, it is 42 millimeters if you just measure the bezel, but as you can see, we'll just grab Super Cali here, and this is actually, if you measure the case, 44 mil, not 42. Where it's 42 is just the bezel. When you factor in that crown, it is 46 mil. You have a thickness from the case back to the crystal of basically 12 mil. So what I am saying is this. This is a big watch, and because it has this integrated FKM rubber band, which is actually quite nice, really comfortable. You can see the Forge and Foster logo on either side. But you can see here, and I think I might have showed this in the unboxing, your lug-to-lug length is actually quite large because there isn't much flex there. And I'm just going to kind of hold that tight, and so you can see this is going to be your lug to lug. So you already have a 44 mil case size, 46 from the 9 to the crown. And then when you factor in this rather large lug length, like take a look at this when you get Super Cali, and she's got to open up wide for this one. And look at that. 61 millimeters. Now this watch has incredible potential, but it is absolutely huge, and it fits absolutely huge. On my 7.5-inch wrist, it absolutely swallows it up. This is the biggest problem with this watch, is just how it wears. If you have a wrist smaller than a 7.5-inch wrist, it is just simply going to be way too big for you. Let me show you a couple of examples of what I mean. So example number 1 comes from Forge & Foster's own website, and this is one of the reviews, and you can see it says shipping was fast and the quality of the watch is perfect, but wait until you see what this looks like. It is absolutely huge. Now, I don't know what size of wrist this person has, but it is not big enough for this watch. I mean, look at that, how the watch absolutely engulfs that wrist. It is absolutely massive. And example number 2 comes from my son. And this is my son, and this is the watch on his wrist. And his wrist is under a 7-inch wrist, or maybe around a 7-inch wrist, not much more than that if it is 7 inches. And just look at it, it's absolutely huge. So fairly early into this review, I can honestly say that I can't recommend this watch for the vast majority of people, or a good majority of people, for the sheer size of it. And it's really unfortunate, because I think it is a cool looking watch. I mean, I love the look of that skeleton automatic. I love looking at the movement. One of the other neat things about this movement is the mainspring that you can see at the top here, just below the Forge & Foster branding at the 12. That mainspring is wound tight now because the watch is fully wound, but when it's not fully wound, you can see that that mainspring is actually loose and separated. And when you wind the movement by turning the crown clockwise, you can actually see that mainspring tightening. That's really kind of cool. I like this watch. I just wish it was proportioned a little bit better. It's all 316L stainless steel. Let's just talk about the construction of the watch. You can see it's got some Forge & Foster branding there, and it has some nice vertical brushing. It's not a coarse or a satiny finish, but it's kind of utilitarian, which I kind of think goes with the watch itself. You can see the vertical brushing on the lugs here on the top, and then it does have a bit of a high polish outer ring on the bezel to give it a bit of a contrast, and then circular brushing on the bezel itself. And so I think it's decently finished. It's definitely got a sporty looking feel to this watch. The rubber band, it's an FKM rubber band, and it is super comfortable. You can see it has a display case back, obviously, as well, being a skeleton automatic. One of the other nice features of this watch is the sapphire crystal, not only covering that dial, but it is a sapphire crystal on the case back as well. It has 50 meters of water resistance, which enables you to do some swimming with it, although I wish it would have had 100 meters of water resistance. That would have been much, much better. The movement in this is a PTS skeleton automatic, just a Chinese automatic movement. I think they would have been much better going with like a Seagull automatic movement. That would have been really, really cool to use. This movement itself is running decent, has a 1.1 millisecond beat error, and it is running at about minus 21 seconds per day. So, you know, not terrible. And but the watch is just, I just think it's really cool. These batons everywhere except for the 12, which makes room for the Forge & Foster London branding, are loomed. They are applied, and you have you know, just a basic hour and minute hand, nothing fancy about that. The loom is also something that was rather disappointing with this watch. So there was just a few things that were disappointing. I wish it had a bit of a better movement in it. There's nothing overly exciting. It's not really decorated. You know, the movement in itself is just pretty basic. It is kind of cool to see the gears moving and clicking as the movement is going. I really do like that. But other than that, you know, it's just not a really aesthetically, you know, pleasing looking movement, really, is it? And so there's just a few things that really kind of are a bummer about this watch. The loom isn't very good. I'll show you that in just a moment. The size of it is just out of this world. I'll show it to you on my wrist, and it's big on my wrist, and I have a 7.5-inch wrist. 5 atmospheres of water resistance instead of 10 would have been better at 100 meters of water resistance, in my opinion. And the movement, you know, the movement is just, it's okay. You know, it's supposed to have 20 jewels, and, you know, kind of remember that commercial, "Where's the beef?" Where are the jewels in this? I mean, they're kind of hard to spot. When you turn it around, you can see one of the jewels there. But if it's got 20, I don't know where all 20 of them are. So, you know, really, this watch wasn't a disappointment, but it wasn't really something that I'm super excited about either. Might be one that I end up just putting on a watch group, see if someone wants it. Try and sell it maybe. I don't think this is going to stay in the collection, unfortunately. And again, I can't recommend it because it's a whopper. It's way too big, and most of you aren't going to be able to wear it because of the sheer size of it. So let me show you the loom, and then I'll show it to you on wrist. So it looks as if the loom might be decent, at least at the onset. You can see all of the indices and the hour and the minute hand are loomed, but it doesn't even last 5 minutes. Just watch this as I fast forward. Within a couple of minutes, the indices disappear, and then the hour and the minute hand don't even survive 5 minutes. So the loom was terribly disappointing on this one. And here it is on my 7.5-inch wrist, and you can see that it is, you know, it is taking up a good chunk of space on my wrist, and I do have probably a larger wrist, at least larger than average. 7.5 to 8-inch wrist would be a large wrist, and you know, it's a big watch. It just has a lot of potential. If they made it a little bit smaller, maybe used a bit of a better movement, or at least a better decorated movement, this thing could have been a hit. But as it stands, I like this watch. I don't love this watch. And with the few strikes that I have against it, unfortunately, just can't recommend it. So is this a proper watch for proper money? Well, as you've seen at the beginning of the video, on their website, they are really overselling this watch, trying to tell the consumer that comparable brands do not offer automatic movements in their watches while theirs does. It's a little bit silly, and unfortunately this one had too many strikes against it for me to be able to recommend it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this. If you have a large wrist and you're into skeleton automatics, this is certainly one that might do you well, but for me, I think it's not going to stay in the collection. I think I'm going to pass this one on to someone who wants it, or perhaps try and sell it at a future date. Thanks for watching this video. If you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. This coming Friday, I am dropping my 750 giveaway details video, where you will be able to enter to win an amazing watch, the Wayfinder by Fair and Swit. Check out that video. I'll leave a link to the review of that watch at the end of this video. And check that out, and on Friday, enter the giveaway. You have to be subscribed in order to do so. So thanks for watching, everybody. Remember, whenever you leave your house, You must have a great looking piece to wear on your wrist, like the Islander I was wearing earlier. And wherever you're going, you have to get there on time. God bless. We'll see you in the next one.